So, Shola, we're at Hexis Lab, and tell me why we're here, Shola. What are you trying to do in this wonderful lab?
Great to have you here. And thanks for taking this time out, to come and speak to us. So Hexis Lab is a company that started 14 years ago. We actually started on this site. We are one of the only few companies that started here 14 years ago. What we're trying to do is to help make better products for the consumer, skincare products and hair care products in particular, using knowledge and know-how and technology and what we have here in the lab in Newcastle.
Brilliant. So, we'll unpack your story, but what are the products that you're developing at the moment?
So mostly we work with other clients to help them develop their own products, but at the same time we are working on an hair care product, particularly focused on textured hair. We saw this as an important category that needs to be whether we see an unmet need within the market. So we want to create product that addresses the need, not just styling needs for the hair, but also the nutrition of the scalp. Healthy scalp, produce healthy hair. And one of the challenges that we see with some of the products in the market, that they're very focused on styling and effects, but very, very little is done about improving the condition of the scalp. And that is what the product that we're developing, Lily and Case, which is available on the internet for people to buy, is about. We want to create a product that addresses the need of the scalp, that produces the benefit that is required for healthy hair.
Brilliant. If we were to rewind back in time, Shola, tell me, you grew up in Lagos, Nigeria?
Yeah.
Tell me about back in Nigeria, because I want to understand the story of how we're sat here now in Hexis Lab and you going through your academic route to ending up doing what you do here.
Okay. I grew up in Lagos. I came to Newcastle in my mid-20s to study a doctorate degree in Newcastle in applied mathematics. But growing in Lagos was quite exciting. My dad was a vicar. I grew up in vicarage, and it was a great, exciting time. I did my first degree in Nigeria. Very busy place to be. Lots of clever, smart, intellectual, people that I grew up with. I'm the youngest of eight in my family, and it's excited to be living in England now.
Yeah, yeah. I knew you'd give me a humble answer to that question. Can you unpack just quite how good you were at mathematics? Tell me about how you ended up going from Lagos to working at, because I know your backstory, working in NASA, experience at Cambridge, but talk us through a little bit more of the detail. I know you won't want to share it because you're too humble, but a little bit more of the detail of how you ended up going through that.
Yeah, I used to be very clever. So um so yeah, I had a first class degree, in mathematics in Lagos. Was one of the privileged people to got a scholarship to Cambridge to go and do further advanced mathematics, what we call mathematics track post 3, which brought me to England. So it was a scholarship funded by Cambridge, and then after, before I finished my tripos, I got a fellowship and a scholarship to come to Newcastle for my doctorate degree, which was great. I love the city. Then after my doctorate degree, I got a fellowship to Stanford, a program funded by NASA to work on theoretical, theoretical astrophysics problem at that time, which I did. Then came back to Newcastle, joined the computer science department when the genome was sequenced, and started working in biology. And I thought, this is fascinating. We're now dealing with real life problem, and I've never left since that time.
And that is what's fascinating because most people won't understand how you can go from very complex, either applied mathematics or theoretical physics, what you were doing in Stanford, then through to biology. Just explain that link a little bit more.
Yeah. So mathematics is a language of the universe. So essentially, we're trying to solve problems, whether we're finding a better search algorithm for search engine, or we're trying to understand how protein fold or trying to understand how to develop new chemicals or new formulation, they all involve mathematical, analytical processes. Once you have the foundation in theoretical, analytical, methods in mathematics, you can pretty much apply it, to different things. I enjoy maths a lot. I still do. But that underpins quite a lot of research that we do in Hexis Lab. Say, for instance, we have an AI machine learning tool. You will have seen a lot of computers on the way in to the lab that we use to analyze and predict the activity of compounds in the biological systems, and also formulation, how you combine different ingredients together in order to work out, theoretically what they would do before you even take them to the lab to do experiments to validate what they will do in the biological systems. So that underpinning, degree in mathematics helps to, to essentially interpret the world in a very rigorous and robust way, so that you can get, excellent result, excellent models for what you're trying, with the problems you're trying to solve.
Yeah, absolutely. We keep seeing Sola arrive in London. He's popping up in Downing Street. He's popping up in the House of Lords. Why have people got so excited about what you're doing?
I guess innovation is the key to what we're trying to do. And also, I do really care, about what I do. It's not just a job. It's not just a cover. It's about making a difference in the world. I'm wired that way. I want to see an impact. I want to see people finding the right products. It's like products I want to do. I want to create opportunity, for people that needs, that want employment to find a good opportunity to for jobs. I have a mentorship program for Black entrepreneurs in the region.
Tell us more about the program that you do.
So it's really not a formal organization. It's just the fact that I've seen so many young, enterprising, dynamic Black people in the region over the years that have struggled.
Yes.
Either setting up a business or struggle with employment or struggle with the system as well.
Yes.
And I've worked with a lot of people over the years on a one-to-one basis, just being a buddy, being an advisor, encouraging them, supporting them in any way I can. But what I've realized is that, you've got only one, you're only one person. And there's, limit to what you can do. So creating some kind of a group, where we can learn from each other, has been quite instrumental, So I started that last 2 years ago, I think 2 years ago. Yeah. And we meet, every 2 months, come together, learn from each other, or any advice, anybody could have for each other. And Barclays has been very, very, supportive.
Oh, really?
Hosting us next week, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
On June the 12th at the Barclays Hexis Lab.
Okay.
Whereby they are providing, some kind of support, to discuss their support that they have for Black entrepreneurs, or, nationally, and also to encourage, Black entrepreneurs to come and talk to them. So I'm really pretty excited about that, somebody else is able to take, to take that body.
Great
in
involvement.
that body.
Yeah. So you're busy growing Hexis Labs. You've got your group of entrepreneurs. Yeah. Tell me, how big an opportunity is this? If you've created an amazing product, how fast can you get it to market, and how big could something like this be if it really took off?
Well, one thing that I know is I know what I do not know. The skill set that is missing in our group, in our team, and what we do. And that's why, they're talking to you, for the last, few months, that we need to have people with marketing experience or knowledge that can help us with this, because this is not, this is not my, areas of expertise or knowledge. So, and I think that is where we still are, trying to find, the right strategy for actually launching a product. We only started in December last year. And we think there is an opportunity to scale this up, appropriately. We've got a number of products that have already been made, that is waiting to to come out to market. But we just wanted to find out the right strategy, the right way of being able to do that, and the right people as well that will enable us, that will help us.
And I guess market-wise, we talked about the US, didn't we, as being a core market?
Yes, US being a very big market for products like this. And also, I mean, India is a big thing. Then Africa, oh gosh,
Yeah.
a lot of emerging, middle class, that want products developed for them, with them in mind. I think it's a great opportunity to be able to, to walk across the different continents.
And going back to that chat that we were talking about with all the people you're getting introduced to in London, how are you finding all of that connectivity? Because people must be coming to you all the time, politicians and others saying, I know this guy who heads up a beauty company, or there's this person in America. Do you feel like the network is starting to come together to really help you, Sola?
Yes, it's been slow, but but it's started coming together, and it's taking its course. But we and also learning from people as well.
Yes.
Finding out the win-win scenario, the strategy, the route to market. So it's really helpful to be able to have those contacts and connections.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. So I come back in 5 years, Sola, and meet you. How many of these products could you have sold if it all takes off?
I'm hoping maybe 100 million or 200 million.
100 or 200 million. I mean, that is massive. But and I would imagine that'll just start off a flurry of other products once you know what you're doing and get it all commercialized. But
100%, and also create an impact, create a legacy, create a playbook of how to do it and how to do it well, how to play within the consumer space.
And going back to what you said at the start of the conversation, you're talking about impact on people. If you are getting those sales volumes, how will that feel that it's impacted people if you get to that point for you?
But for me personally, I mean, I've got a bucket load of things that I want to do.
Is that like really hard maths questions?
It's not. It's not in my heart. People that I want to lift up from from poverty. People that I want to
Back in Nigeria?
back in Africa. I mean, there's poverty here as well.
Yeah.
In the north of England, you'll be surprised. There are a lot of people that are struggling. There are a lot of people that do not have the opportunity that we have. I always consider myself as being lucky. Yes, growing up in Lagos, I mean, it's a fierce competition.
Yeah.
Even being born, it's like you're struggling to catch somebody else, hair, as it were.
Yes.
So I've been through competition all my life. I mean, like, try to be the top set in primary school, the top set in secondary school, because that is what guarantees the future.
Yes.
So by the time you get to secondary school, university is not guaranteed in Nigeria. You have a joint matriculation exam, which I did. It's like take the top 10%. That apply. And the people that get to university. So by the time you get to university, it's like 50-60% of the people are not able to get to the graduation. It's not because they are not smart. It's because the system just keeps cutting it down. And so I see myself as a privileged, person to be here. And I know so many bright, phenomenally bright people that never, were able to go through those systems. So to be able to give something back is a core motivation for anything that I do.
It's not huge. It's easy to forget the people that don't have those opportunities or can't access. You think of the networks that we hold locally, internationally, where it's quite obvious to connect. But if you're back in Lagos, struggling to compete through that network of people, it's really hard, isn't it?
It's really hard. And I'm very grateful to, grateful to Newcastle. I mean, grateful to the university. I mean, they funded me for 3 years to do a PhD in mathematics, a topic that I enjoy so much. I mean, it's like, it was like a holiday, having that opportunity to be able to study at that level and that level of intensity, and to be paid to be able to do that. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for the region. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be able to do what I enjoy. So yeah.
And if I was to rewind back, entire career, going right back to Lagos, everything that you've done in life, Sola, you've got all this wisdom now, all this knowledge and applied theory. What would you do differently if you had your time again?
I will spend more time finding mentors, recruiting mentors, and making sure that you have people that can support you, speak to your life, and also find peers as well, people like yourself that can journey with you in business, that can challenge you, people that will understand, what if you say you have problem with payroll or, when they understand that. If you say you have problem with, I don't know, anything, recruitment, they understand that. So people, recruiting peers, finding peers, people to compare notes with, people that will support you, people that will work with you, through your business career is very, very important. I wish I've done more of that at the early stage of business, but I am where I am, through the grace of God. What I could do better.
Okay. And we talk about all the commercial things we can do for you in the market and connectivity and other things. Is there anything else that would help your business grow and scale? Just while we're talking, there may not be. But if ever anyone was watching this and they think, I would love to connect to Sola, are you the type of guy that's open to coffees, open to LinkedIn messages?
Yeah, absolutely. Very open to LinkedIn messages, to coffee, to conversation. Even if there's no business out of it, it's still very, very interesting to be able to connect with people. I think the best thing comes out from human connection.
It does.
When you meet people and there's a meeting of mind, is a great thing.
Okay. Hey, Sola, it's always a delight to catch up, and I wish you all the best with business.
Thank
we
you
will
very
chat more.
much.
Cheers, Sola. Bye-bye.